Okay, so in this demo, first thing I'm going to do is show you the PDF output results of a client report or CRO, and then I'll show you how I got there. So in this first client report or CRO, this is a customer aging report, and we can see right off the bat we have some color and italics in our title. We have that background coloring that Cheryl mentioned, that's a conditional formatting. And we've got a logo up there in the top left-hand corner. And we also have a summary. So this report is grouping by customer and summarizing their total order amount due. So I've opened this client report in Design, and this title, it's a text object, and there's most of the formatting you do in a client report is very easy to accomplish. So I had added this text, and I'm going to simply right click and select format text. And then I've got some options up at the top here. I'm going to click on the font tab, and here's where I had changed it. So I changed it to Arial, I made it bold and italicized, and I chose a color blue. So it's literally that simple. Now I have the same options available for any of my fields, my data fields. So ordno or order number is one of my fields. I do the same thing. I right click, format field, and go to the font tab. And I have those same options available. Now, to get into more of the heated steering wheel fancy, over here we have our bucket field. And this one, since this is an aging report, I wanted to kind of highlight and jump out at me when there's a customer that's reached a certain number of days in their aging. So I'm going to right click on this and go to Format Field again. Now this time I'm going to the Border tab. And the reason is I want it to highlight the background of this field. And if you notice, when you go into formatting in a client report, nearly every option has this little formula box, this X2 with the little pencil. And what that means is whatever this format selection is, if this is highlighted in red, that means there's a formula in the background which determines if that format is going to be used and how. And that sounds kind of complicated, what I just said, but the client report makes it very easy. So let's look at how I set this background coloring up. I clicked on that formula button, and that brings over my formula editor. So the client report gives you a list of several different colors that you could choose from. And it's telling you how you would basically code them or how you would type them out so that the client report understands. And I'm using a very simple if-then statement. So in plain English, if this customer is 91 and over, I want it to be red. If they're 60 to 90 days, then I want it to be yellow. And that's what this little formula does down here. Excuse me. If the field does not have either of these values, then we just want to leave it alone and give it no coloring. So it'll just be the white. And that results in what you see here. So the 91 and over are turning red, so it's going to pop out at me as I'm reviewing this report. And then the yellow is a little more of a caution that they're approaching that 91, but they're at 60 to 90. Okay, now the other item we have here is we have this box. Let me go back to my results and show you the box again. This little drawing object here. And I use that to just separate out my groups. That again is under the insert menu, and it's insert box, and you get this little pencil. So you could click and drag to draw your box. And then once your box is drawn, you can right click on it and go to Format Box if you want to get super fancy. And in this one, I put a drop shadow on there. So that's why it looks like it's kind of three-dimensional. And we know in this report, we also have a summary. Now, one of the really nice things, as Cheryl referred to, is this insert summary. And it's nice because it walks you through very simplistically how to make your summary, and it will position it on the report for you. So in this case, we had totaled the revenue. So I'm going to choose my revenue field. And then it gives you a large amount of different calculations that you can choose from. I had chosen sum. And then it basically is asking you where you would like to position it. So we could put it at the grand total line, or I had chosen to put it at the end of each group. I'm going to cancel that since it's already on the report. But that's how that summary looks. And we also have our Help Systems logo. And that's also easy. You simply select Insert Picture and then navigate to where your picture is located. Click Open and it will put it on the report for you. So that's one example of client report. I'm going to close this one and we'll switch over to second client report. Let me open that guy. I think I chose design. Yep. So for this one is separating out our customer credit limit by region. And we've got a chart and then the supporting data underneath for each region as you page through the report. So here's that same report in design mode. So to insert a chart, it's under the famous insert menu again. Insert chart. And once I get it on my report, I'm ready to work with it or format it. And just so you know, this graphic you see here, this is not how your chart's going to look. It's just a sample. So I've got my chart positioned and I'm going to right click and I can choose Chart Expert. And the client report has a very robust chart feature. It has probably every chart type you could ever think of, whether or not you want it to be vertical, horizontal, and then all of these additional options up at the top, your data, your axis, and a couple other options there. And even further, if you want to dig even deeper into the formatting ability of a chart, is I can click on my actual series or my bar. I can right click. Now I've got the chart options here, which is similar to the prior chart options, but I could even go ahead and format my series. I could change the border on it, make it a pattern, a picture if you like. So there's a lot of things you can do with the chart feature of a client report. And this one also has that sequential page numbering. So it's down here, page N of M. And in the client report, this is super easy to do. It's considered a special field, which is on the left here. And it's this one here, page N of M. And you have all these other choices as well. And you simply single click on it and drag it over to where you want. And then it will show that sequential page numbering. Now, most people know about the Magic Eraser product that's out there, and that's what I call my favorite feature of the Crow, which is the undo button. And It's nice because sometimes if you're really focusing in on a report, you might be moving things around. In this case, I just moved my spacing. I added, now I've got 2 page numberings in here, and I've got a chart that I really don't need. I left those there intentionally to show you the undo. The undo is the back arrow right here, and I can single click on it, and it'll, of course, undo the most recent action. But the really nice thing is there's a drop down arrow next to it. And if you click there, you see the last actions that you've done. And I can actually highlight those. I'm not clicking, I'm just dragging. And it reverts back the last 6 actions or more that I have done. And I can tell you that sometimes when you're really working on a report and you're moving small things around, it's easy to forget what you moved and what you didn't, or what caused it to look messy. So that's my favorite, is the undo.